So today we're going to have a kind of a battle of the titans. My two favorite figure makers for high-end robots. It's SkyX Studios versus Blitzway or 5 Pro Studios. Um, and we both the figures are the Black Getter Robo from Getter Robo Armageddon, and they look both very similar and very different. I've decided not to bother with the CCS Toys Black Getter Robo because it is so radically different and it is not anime accurate. So I'm going to stick with these two. Uh, the first thing I will say is that the Sky X figure is a lot more expensive. This was 350. Now I don't remember what I paid for it. I didn't buy it from Big Bad Toy Store, so I want to say I paid about 200 for it. So you're talking about quite a bit more money for this one, and you can feel it's a lot. It's bigger, denser, heavier. This is nice. I mean, for a $200 figure, that's really nice. And Blitzway always. I've never had a Blitzway figure that I disliked. So they really produce nice stuff. For anime accuracy, I'll have to give it to Blitzway. And in this case, I'm not going to ding SkyX because really what they've done is they've added more flourishes in here, more design. So the basic figure itself remains true to the anime. The blades here are a little bit more stylized, and when they create animation, um, they create it generally more simplistic, just to make it easier. So SkyX said, "Well, let's make it more," and a lot of figure makers do this. In fact, I would say that Blitzway is, for a high-end figure maker, is fairly rare in that it stays so pure to the original animation. Uh, the Blitzway uses some ratchet joints. I would say, as far as balance, joints, everything, it's fantastic. As befitting a figure. I mean, I was going to say a figure of that price, but it actually is not that expensive. It's this one uses compression joints, but again, very nice. The figure comes with a brace, but I don't see any need for a brace. It stands awesome on its own. Big problem with this figure. This, whatever you call it, it's kind of like a flaming uh, scarf. I couldn't get it on, and that's why it's not on. And this adds a lot to the figure. This scarf, and it's a real shame. And I couldn't get it on. Well, maybe I did get it on the CCS toys. I can't remember now if I finally got it on. But I know that other commenters put in there that they also could not get the the scarf on. So that's really disappointing. They both are about the same in the way that the get array works. They both have a panel in the back that switches. This one works a little bit better. Again, it's a more expensive figure. This figure has far more gimmicks. There is simply no comparison, and in particular, you can remove a lot of panels and show the interior. Uh, so, like that. Okay. As far as what I consider to be the most important aspect for me, which is shelf appeal. If I try to put myself into the shoes of someone who doesn't care about robots, doesn't care about Get a Robo, um, I think they're going to gravitate towards this one. Again, it's bigger, even if I put aside the fact that the Blitzway I couldn't get the scarf on. I think overall it looks more uh, imposing. It looks more dramatic. I do love the matte finish black. That is gorgeous. I love matte finishes. This one is shinier. As for whether it's anime accurate or not, um, I don't think the animation was trying to make it look matte. They both have really, really nice capes. They both use wire. Actually, this one doesn't. Does it? Yeah, it does use wire. They're both cloth capes. So I would say that I'm going to have to give the my favorite of the two. I will have to give it to SkyX Studios. One of the big reasons is the scarf. That is really, really hurts this figure that I couldn't get the scarf on. And I know that people will say, well, just use a hair dryer. Okay. I just feel like if you're gonna put out a high end figure, how is that not a particularly easy thing to do? I just don't get it. This handled in a completely different way in how it attaches in here, and it does it very easy. In here, it's supposed to peg into these two pegs, and so the scarf would have little holes in it, and they weren't lining up properly. The only issue I had in this, and I kind of show it, I haven't. The head I had a real problem getting the head back on, and that was annoying. And I didn't have that issue with my other SkyX, my Get a Robo one. So there are things about the Blitzway I prefer, but the SkyX Studio is, I would say, for me, the better figure of the two. So if you're not concerned about the cost and you only want one really anime accurate black Get a Robo, I would go with the SkyX Studio, and it's got a lot of gimmicks all over the place that the Blitzway one doesn't. So that's my comparison of the two. They're both fantastic figures, really gorgeous, look great on a shelf. Um, but I just think the SkyX is a bit better. So that's my comparison of the two Black Get a Robos from SkyX Studios, 5 Pro Studios Blitzway, and my views on it.